girls with their nails done now.
Oh my god, Fossy!
Girls with their nails done.
Getting up peeking, and in fact, he's going to find the stall right away. Finds Kiku as well, and finds Lipa. Beautifully done here from Lavelle has this covered. Lavelle with a double, possibly one more. Can he find them? He's going to find the triple. Welcome, Saints Nation. We are back with some Call of Duty action here tonight, but this time this isn't CCL. This is the Activision Blizzard Collegiate Cold War League. My name's Dan Banner, also known as Mr. Danners, joined alongside Jackson Brown, also known as Deprive. How are you doing, man? Looking forward to some more Call of Duty?
Yeah, of course. And, I cannot wait for this matchup to get started. St. Clair, they've looked pretty solid in Call of Duty throughout this whole semester, whole season, whether it be the CCL or Acti Blizzard. So really excited to jump into things and really get things underway. Week 3 here of the Acti Blizzard League. So we don't really know how good St. Clair has been throughout this league so far. Not a whole lot of information on that, but one thing we can tell you is that every single team in this league qualified through open qualifiers. So every team does have something to show, does have something to prove, and they have already made a statement. Now let's just see how things go from there, right? St. Clair, they're not really going to have any easy matchups at all in this league whatsoever.
That's exactly it, right? We had even broadcasted a lot of that tournament run. That was like the main qualifier here for this. And as we can tell, I remember that seeding was definitely a big point of talking about, considering like off of round 1, there was already some brutal matchups. Then we get to round 4 and it'd be like, hey, how did you make it this far? But now all of those kind of teams are completely weaned out here. Now this West Virginia University squad that we're going up against here tonight. Now we don't necessarily know about them from CCL. We haven't seen anything from them here. But of course, like you're saying, since they're here, they must be decent, right? So looking forward to, of course, a very strong, tough matchup here tonight. I'm just going to very quickly take a look at some of the maps that we're going to be playing on for our best of 5 this time by. And it seems like the selection here tonight is pretty similar, not exact, but similar to what we had seen before in a past Saints match, where we're going to get Raid 3 times, Miami once, and Checkmate once. Specifically, we're going to start off on the Raid hardpoint. Then, second map is going to be Miami Search and Destroy. We go back to Raid for Game 3 for Control. Then, on Game 4, we get Checkmate hardpoint, with a Raid, Search and Destroy being the final game of the night. If we do end up going that far, but that's being said, actually, I think our Saints are in the action. Let's hop on in here with them right here, right now. Of course, West Virginia in the orange and yellow with the blue, then Saints on the right-hand side there in the yellow.
Yeah, for sure. And, we do see St. Clair play this Raid hardpoint, well, Raid in general, no matter the game mode, quite often. So you'd only assume that they are fairly comfortable on this map, and they are ready to go. They are ready to fight for this win here, and St. Clair, they're showing themselves with a great early start, taking a good 14-point lead right off the hop of things. Really good start there from them, and they are on good side. Brandon could completely miss that player behind the rock, though. He will find it, though, nonetheless. But overall, yeah, so St. Clair, they will be on good side. A big thing now for St. Clair is to make sure that these spawns do not flip.
Absolutely. Now, that being said, though, this hard point getting a little bit messy here for the side of St. Clair. Basically, everybody got completely gone. That being said, Brandon, the closest one to the action, but he is going to get rushed down nice and quickly. This should give West Virginia the opportunity to get points first, at least.
Yeah, West Virginia played that perfectly. They really pushed through at a great time, took those spawns, and really did exactly what they need to do. So St. Clair did a great job of retaking it, though. So now they do actually have point control. They do get some kills in there, but you will see Blind Slayer. He is going to be somebody to worry about here, sitting in the back, just making sure that they keep these spawns. It's going to result in West Virginia retaking this hill and, trying to rack up a little bit of these points a little bit and bounce back onto St. Clair. St. Clair, if you're St. Clair here, you don't really try to flip these spawns anymore. You just start to try to play for next a little bit with there's only 20 seconds remaining on the clock. You do see number 8, that is Lavelle, playing his anchor position so well, already sitting back here in cars, ready for this next hard point. And Priestley goes huge in mid, finds 2.
Priestley I mean, we know how Lavelle has his roles in regards to anchoring. Well, we know Priestley has his roles as being an absolutely slaying fiend as he gets himself the double in that situation. But of course, Brandon and Saucenato right short to follow as well. Lavelle going to be able to start gathering some of those points on the hard point. Brandon in a decent position to defend, but Blind Slayer, we knew we had to watch out for him, and he's going to find his mark here to maybe mess up this defense on the hard point. Priestley, lone one around for at least that moment. The rest of the cavalry has arrived. Actually, Priestley is going to get jumped on right in the last second there by Interpreted, but he is going to get taken down, actually, as that is going to be the Semtech from Interpreted. And Saints hang on for at least a little while longer and are going to gather up pretty much the majority of this point.
Yeah, that was a great hold from Saints right from the beginning. You know, they were on that hill early. They held it well. Like, yes, they may give up these last 15 seconds here, but that's just going to result in them being able to rotate and get control of this next hard point quite well. If you look at it, you will see Priestley and Sauce. They're doing a great job of breaking through this hill. And look at this. You're going to see Sauce rush up these stairs now, getting sure they can secure these spawns, and they have a phenomenal hold right now for St. Clair. Lavelle, he is going to get rushed on a little bit, but Priestley will be there to secure the trade. Intercepted goes huge there, and that is a West Virginia slaying out, and they do get a great break there. At least St. Clair does still have these spawns. They don't have to travel too far to make their way to this hard point, but they will have to deal with some of these West Virginia players hanging around the point, particularly Blind Slayer and King Von. Blind Slayer will fall. King Von, though, still alive, doing what he does best. And Sauce now going to be here trying to break through something, but will not be able to develop onto anything. And, you know, West Virginia, they're doing a great job of holding this hill, even though they don't have spawns, right? They're really shutting down St. Clair from this top stair position, and St. Clair can't do a whole lot about it. So if you're West Virginia here, you are very happy that you now have secured yourself a lead, and you have been doing a great job of holding this one. If you're St. Clair, you really want to bounce back and try to just, you know, take control of this next hard point.
Well, I mean, one of the best counterplays or countermeasures to not having good spawns is just not to die. Just keep yourself alive and keep fragging out. And this West Virginia squad has been doing, for the most part, for the longest time there for that that top left hard point. Was doing such a good job of just constantly out-fragging the Saints. But now that it's back into the middle, Saints are in very solid defensive position and are going to able to kind of bunker down for a little bit. Sauce going to take down Blind Slayer. Definitely going to be one of those players to watch out for, as we had mentioned a little bit earlier as well. Alongside Interpreted and King Von so far, doing quite strongly for this side of West Virginia. But Priestley and the rest of the Saints right, like, tit for tat there with them here in this midsection, keeping this nice and defended.
Yeah, great job for St. Clair there, re-securing that lead for themselves. And, you know, like you were saying, tit for tat, just completely holding that hill right in the midpoint of things. However, West Virginia will retake it, but only 13 seconds remain, so they will not be able to secure a lead on this one, maybe just bouncing back a little bit. But overall, St. Clair, they're just going to rotate on the next one. And, you know, one thing I was talking about with Shaddy a few games ago is really, if you can control the pace of a game in Call of Duty, you are in very good position, right? And it really kind of looks like it's kind of back and forth on who's controlling this pace. Like, you see sometimes St. Clair is really rotating and getting the pace done that way, where West Virginia, they are just, you know, controlling the pace every now and then. But that is Brandon with an AK-74U and the Diamatti. Cleans up some nice kills there, and now St. Clair just looking to extend their lead. We have a very, very close game on our hands here so far, Tanners.
The momentum here is just absolutely nuts. Just somebody from both sides just finds their opportunity to pop off, similar to what you were saying, and like just back and forth here with regards to momentum. Brandon finally going to get shut down, but only after like 6 kills or so in a row. I was absolutely tearing it up. Assault or machine gun, doesn't matter. Pistol, does not matter. I still got your number. Sauce going to pull that one out of nowhere. Able to just clutch it up for just a moment. He's going to be able to keep hold of this hard point for the last couple seconds. But 144, 145 to 102. Definitely a close matchup. Can be anybody's game still at this point.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, now St. Clair, they're doing a great job. They actually have the spawns for this hard point now. They have a 50-point lead. This is where they really look to extend their lead and, you know, kind of start to pull away. Intercepted. Going to be a big factor in this, though. He has a great flank going, and he could cause a lot of disruption to St. Clair's plans. However, St. Clair, they've already racked up the first 20 seconds. Blind Slayer, he will find 2 and help clear up the point. Intercepted, able to find 1 here in the back of this hard point now. And West Virginia will have a hold of this hill, but Priestley, he will have something to say about that as he finds 2 on the Blind Slayer and Intercepted. And now, West Virginia, great job bouncing back. But overall, St. Clair, they are just looking to keep their lead at this point and just kind of maintain the scoreline. They did a great job of, taking a little bit of a lead there. We have been going very tit for tat, like you were saying, throughout this whole game. So for St. Clair to at least, get a little bit of a lead now, that is something you do like to see. And St. Clair does have spawns going into next.
Yeah, which fair enough, because for a little while there, it looked like Saints were not on the right side of the spawns. And this time, Brandon going to clear things, make this first hard point capture nice and simple for him and the rest of the squad. Brandon is going to eventually go down. Actually, a nice little bit of a play here from Interpreted. And Lavelle, for the second time in a row, blow himself up via grenade. I don't know what the heck's happening there, but Semtex may not exactly be his friend here today. And is going to completely flip this over. West Virginia in solid position to tie this one up off of this point if they can keep this up.
Yeah, for sure. Brandon actually going to kill Lavelle to Semtex. So Lavelle has now fallen 3 times to the teammates or his own Semtex grenade. Not a good sign from St. Clair. They're looking a little shaky. And Lavelle, he does look like he is struggling a little bit in this matchup with only a 0.33 KD. And he looks like he's almost lagging a little bit, Danners. Like, if you look at this, it looks a little shaky on his side where everybody else looks all right. So, I mean, that is quite concerning for Lavelle. I mean, at least he is able to try to find a few kills and some hardpoint time, but it is looking quite shaky for him. As West Virginia, they do take the lead, but St. Clair is not far behind.
I mean, County Internet might be showing up to bite him in the rear here a little bit. I know for a lot of times he has to go somewhere else in order to play these matchups, but they may not have been available here today. But thankfully for him, he can keep playing his objective style while the rest of the Saints are pulling through with the defense and the fragging potential, at least as of this moment. Have to see if they can just keep shutting this down for just a little bit longer here. Lavelle is going to eventually go down. That point is completely cleared off. Saints just by that at 200 mark, finally going to pass it. Yeah, Priestley managed to find himself a streak of some sort, going to make that airstrike work for him, and going to be able to gather most of the rest of this.
Yeah, great artillery there from Priestley. And, now that's going to give St. Clair a good little chunk of lead. And that's a great time to get a good little lead, right, Danners? Like, you are so close to this game being closed out. This is exactly when you want to start to kind of pull away a little bit and find yourself a little bit of a lead. However, this hardpoint is rotated and West Virginia is on it. So, going to be up to St. Clair now to try to break through. Brandon does fall, but Sauce able to answer back and clean up outages. So overall, 4v3 here for St. Clair, but Interpreted will answer back on a Priestley. So overall, I mean, West Virginia doing a good job of fighting back a little bit, but St. Clair really going to try their best to break through here. Sauce will find one there, but now what can he do to translate it into this hill? Will he be able to find this player? Yes, he does. That's a huge kill from Sauce. Will allow St. Clair to break into that hill. That kill from Sauce will almost completely open up that hard point for St. Clair, and that's going to put them at the 230-point marker, only about 17 points away from closing this one out now.
Yeah, that little three-pronged attack that the Saints pulled off here to try and capture this midpoint absolutely clutched it out. I don't care how well this West Virginia squad has been popping off individually. You cannot dodge attacks from 3 sides. We see Priestley popping off. We see Brandon popping off. And now they are going to clutch this one up. St. Clair are going to take game number 1.
Yeah, and that was beautiful timing. Like, you see St. Clair, it was very tit for tat, like you said, back and forth the whole way through, right? But you come to the very end, St. Clair doing a great job holding it. Lavelle, he might be struggling with that county internet issues like you were saying, right? But he did his job nonetheless. Take spawn control, hold a hard point. That's the best thing you can do if you're lagging, right? And he did it well. At the very last hill, he sat on that hill for about 45 seconds and held it the whole way through while the rest of them just played defense. Really, really allowed St. Clair to really pull away a little bit there and get their lead, and it really helped them in closing that one out in the middle hard point. Overall, St. Clair up 1-0 in this series, and they are looking good.
One thing that is going to be a bit against them, however, you don't have the luxury of having somebody who's basically out of the fights or whatnot for this next map coming up. You can't sit on a point and search and destroy. You die, you're out of the game. So unfortunately here, unless they can, I don't know if they need to reboot that router or what's going on there for Lavelle, but unfortunately, if he is going to be lagging like mad, that is basically going to inadvertently be a 3-on-4 for the favor of West Virginia. A very rough spot to be in. I do see, as of right now, Lavelle did hop out of here, so I think he's doing himself a quick reboot, which fair enough. Make sure you can check all of your own personal tech issues before maybe making the call to do a little bit of switching, because of course, Nathan Corius is always available from from the bench as well if need be. Not that he's benched, but I mean like from the sub position. Can
Mhm.
always move up if necessary. And I know he's been kind of looking more towards a supportive role as well, trying to be a bit more of a jack of all trades instead of strictly the entry kind of guy. So he'd be able to pick up that role if necessary. But at the same time, you kind of want your main roster if possible. You want your leadership involved. You want Dawson involved if at all possible. But hopefully, we can get his internet situation fixed.
Of course, you do want everybody being able to play to their full capability. You don't want anybody, at a little bit of a disadvantage due to tech issues. But, at the bottom line, it is esports. Like, this stuff happens more than you would think. So, I mean, we're just going to hope that the router reset or, like, the PC reset, whatever it may be, does help him out here going a little bit forward in this matchup. And like you were saying, Search and Destroy, really, really hard to play with internet issues, right? Like, you have to, like, everything comes down to those gunfights. Like, yes, you can go and try to plant the bomb, but that's not, like, you can't just, that can't be your only job, right? At the same time. So, overall, like, yeah, St. Clair really gonna need to try to find a little bit of a solution there. And overall, I think a router reset, they usually does fix most issues. So overall, I would be excited to see Lavelle to be able to, complete the series, play with their roster that they practice with, they scrim with all the time. And yeah, I'm really just looking forward to seeing if Lavelle, he can come back and he can play in the Search and Destroy. But
Well,
nonetheless,
I do got an update actually on that.
is Corius coming in?
Corius is coming in. Dawson just messaged me
boy.
right here, right now. So, just for whatever reason, the internet situation does not seem to be resolved, and of course, does not want to take too much time trying to figure it out. So, Nathan Corius going to be joining us here for the Miami Search and Destroy. Dawson going to keep on doing some tests and whatnot in the meantime. Figure out if he can get that all fixed up. But yeah, sub going to be coming on in here. Corius, I mean, we've seen him a couple times get subbed in the season so far.
He actually did play
decent results, actually.
Yeah, like, he helped them qualify for this league. Like,
exactly,
he
yeah.
helped them get here. So, to be completely honest, like, it's not that bad to have Corius come in. Like, he kept up with the rest. The one thing that concerns me is he is not on that same momentum as the rest of them are. He is not caught or warmed up like the rest of them are. Well, I mean, he might be sitting there playing like by himself, but he did not play in that first map. Basically, what I'm saying, he doesn't really know West Virginia quite yet, and where the other ones, they have a little bit of a taste. So that could be a little bit concerning, but I wouldn't be too worried. You would rather have Corius on a full internet, like, full ready to go, like no tech issues, rather than, having Dawson a little bit impaired because of the internet issues. So overall, I'm excited to see Corius come in here and play. It's always nice to see the subs get their shot to really come through here, try to make an impact on the game. And St. Clair, they already have a 1-0 lead in the series, so they have an upper hand moving forward. And if they can do that while Dawson is lagging, I really do think that Corius can come in here and they can have a pretty good shot at closing out this series.
Absolutely, and of course, at the end of the day, I'd rather have somebody who's old getting into the game than not being able to react because of internet. So
yeah, exactly.
That being said, though, that is something that actually does concern me about certain teams that when they do have substitutes, because I know we always think about like traditional sports backgrounds. Yes, I know esports and traditional sports have differences, yada yada yada, but at the same time, there's still a lot that we can learn from it, and a lot of things that do concern me actually with some of these players or some of these teams that have subs. Imagine like you're going up to play a match of hockey or a game of hockey, and you're a substitute goalie or something like that. You go out on the ice, you're warming up with everybody, right? Then you sit until you're needed. You don't often then have the situation where the substitute goalie is chilling at home, then gets called from the arena to drive all the way into the arena and then hop right into the game right away. Now, what I often see here with a lot of these teams with substitutes, they don't warm up with them. Yes, I get it's a little bit different. You can't just go out on the field and just take shots, but at the same time, hop into a quick play or something. Like, get them in the game playing, have them sitting with you. But I see a lot of these teams, like they're substitutes. The first time they touch the game is as soon as they're in the game when they get called
just
up.
Like just go shoot bots. Just do something just in case. Like, you never know what needs to happen. And Corius knows that better than anybody, right? Like, he did it in the Acti Blizzard, the open qualifier, and he's doing it again now. You know, at the bottom line, at least shoot some bots, whether it's only for 10, 15 minutes. That's all you need. Just a little bit to get a feel of things, get a little bit of a grasp on things. Yes, he doesn't really know how West Virginia has been playing so far throughout this first map, but at least he has his shots on and he's ready to go. He's going to hop in the call. The momentum's going to be good. They're fresh off a map win, and everyone's going to be like, yo, what's good, Corius? Like, glad you're here. Like, let's go. Like, let's win this thing. Let's close it out, and let's move on. Like, good stuff. And so I'm just really excited to see how things go. I don't really know how long we will have until this game starts, but Corius is in the call with the team right now, so should not be too long until we get things underway here. So, you know, one thing I would just like to really appreciate all you guys for tuning in. We would not be possible to do things without you guys. Quick shout out to our sponsors as well. While we have time, you know, St. Clair College Alumni Association, PC Outlet, the Zekelman School of Business and Information Technology, St. Clair College, Tim Hortons, and the St. Clair SRC would not be possible without them. They help us so much on the production side of things. And, you know, we would not be able to put on these quality of streams like you guys do. Danner's showing he's got the Tim Hortons right there, showing some love for the local businesses. And overall, we'd like to thank you guys all for tuning in and, you know, supporting the sponsors as well. So going to be great stuff here in the production side of things and the game moving forward. And I'm really excited to get things underway here with the second map.
Absolutely. And Timmy's keeping me going after some early mornings and late nights with the little one, helping me keep the action up here with all of yous and keep up with all you young blood commentary and teams and whatnot. But we still seem to be awaiting on either Corius or Lavelle to hop into the lobby here. So I think we're going to take ourselves a very quick break unless you have anything additional really to add prior to hopping into game number 2. As we're just, I guess, getting the final confirmation. I mean, we got it from Lavelle that Corius is coming in, but maybe he's got to boot up the PlayStation or something. Or God forbid, then Corius has a tech issue, and then that'd be a whole nother issue. But hopefully we'll be back up and running within about 5 minutes time. As soon as we get the update, we'll come back and get you it. And hopefully game 2, right around the corner. Don't go anywhere.